In this list we're looking at the names of oceans in the world. We've got Arctic, Indian, Pacific and Atlantic oceans. And then we're also looking at other words that you would commonly see in relation to an atlas. So we've got equator, latitude, longitude, hemisphere, northern and southern in relation to northern and southern hemispheres. Now, if it's a name of an ocean, we have to give it a capital letter, so do take note of that. In Arctic, we've got the short vowel sound followed by a C in a multisyllabic word, so we know we don't put the K there. Same with Pacific and Atlantic, we're just putting the C in those words. In equator, you've got the QU, of course, and then quite often we find the OR sound at the end of a word is OR, like if it has a T before it, like doctor or actor, equator. Latitude and longitude both have the E at the end of the word, making the previous vowel make its long sound. Hemisphere, we've got that PH making the F sound. In northern, we've got two R-controlled vowels, northern, and southern, we've got the L sound in south and the sound at the end there too. Now let's have a look at what these words mean, and if the word can give us any hint as to where they are. Well, we know the Arctic Circle's in the northern hemisphere and it's right near the North Pole, so the Arctic Ocean is probably going to be near that. Now the Indian Ocean is between Australia and India, so you can look at that word India and that might give you a clue. Pacific means the peaceful waters that are between Australia and America, so that might help you to remember that one. Atlantic, the Atlantic Ocean is between America and Africa. The equator is that line around the middle of the world that we measure distances from to find places or define places in the world. Now latitude is the distance from the equator, so it's going to tell us how far each place is away from the equator, whereas longitude is doing our east and west measurements. Hemisphere means that the world is a sphere, and if we look at it cut in half, we have a northern hemisphere and a southern hemisphere, meaning a northern half circle and a southern half sphere, we could say. North means northern, and southern means south, of course. This list we're looking at the oceans of the world and some atlas terms. So we've got Arctic, Indian, Pacific, Atlantic, equator, latitude, longitude, hemisphere, northern and southern. So in this section you have to label the world map, so we've given you some lines there for the hemispheres and we've given you some lines also for the different oceans. Now we've got a key over here for you to colour those areas, so you can colour the ocean areas, colour the northern and the southern hemisphere areas, give them a different colour, put your colours in the key and draw in where the equator would be. Down the bottom you've got to answer or fill in the gaps with the list word, so work your way through those. And just as an easy way to remember longitude and latitude, we've given you the idea that longitude means like long hair, so you can see the lines going vertically, and latitude is like climbing a ladder, where they're the lines that go across the globe. Today our words are Arctic, Indian, Pacific, Atlantic in relation to oceans around the world. Then we've got equator, latitude, longitude, hemisphere, northern and southern. So in this area you have to fill in the gaps. You may need to Google or research this. GPS stands for, what are the three words that it stands for? Lines of latitude of course refer to the lines that run horizontally around the globe, and lines of longitude are the vertically curved lines that we measure by. Other information, the spaces between each line of or is divided into 1 degree equals 60 minutes, and remember 1 minute equals 60 seconds. Add another noun to complete the sentences, so you can work your way through those. And seasons around the world. So you know that the southern and the northern hemisphere have opposite seasons. So if it's winter in one, it will be the summer in the other. You can work those out and fill them in. Here we're doing some mapping skills. So first of all, you have to fill in the gaps with the words given below: Australia, satellite, longitude, latitude and locations. So you can work that out to fill in those spaces. Then here you have to fill in the latitude and longitude for the following. So we've got Geraldton. Now it's 29 degrees south and 115 degrees east. So you can see the latitude is the distance from the equator, and they're the horizontal lines. So they're measuring how far north or how far south you need to go. Longitude are the up and down lines, and they measure how far east or west you need to go to find these places. So there's a little question there that this bit of information may help you with. If you were lost in the desert at 24 degrees south and 138 degrees east and radioed for help, and somebody received your message, which police in which town would they contact? So you have to work out where you are, what would the nearest town be, and who would they be contacting. There's another second example there for you too.